I just want to point out, it was interesting that you said the town hall event's taking place in Auckland, because we're talking about mass surveillance, we're talking about everything that's going on, and the fact that the Prime Minister has denied that there is no mass surveillance in New Zealand, that these are only cyber protection programs, and even though they were contemplating them, they never went forward. He heroically put a stop to this at the 11th hour, and none of us know what's going on. But you know, there are actually NSA facilities in New Zealand that the GCSB is aware of, and that means the Prime Minister is aware of, and one of them is in Auckland. Another one is in the north of the country.
New Zealand, as part of the Five Eyes Alliance, is seen as a junior partner in that alliance, but in fact, it has equal status to every other nation except that of the United States.
When the bulk collection of private citizens' communications, emails, text messages, location data, metadata, calling records, what you order online, what you buy, who you talk to, who you love, what you do, when these things are collected by any arm of government without an individualized, particularized suspicion of wrongdoing, on the individual level, that is a violation not just of rights on the national level, but of human rights that are not given to us by government, but are inherent to our nature.
It is the case in virtually every Western democracy, and I spent time today with a well-regarded New Zealand journalist who confirmed that it's not just the practice, but the law in New Zealand, that governments do not have the right to declare information classified, in essence, to keep it concealed from the citizenry, unless it is really the case that disclosure of that information would seriously harm national security and jeopardize the public safety. So what he is essentially saying is that there is information that his government decreed to be classified on the ground that its release would jeopardize the public safety, that he is now going to release because he thinks doing so would be helpful to him politically.
People within GCSB have become addicted to that relationship with these bigger players. And so they're happy to sacrifice the rights of New Zealanders and move the society of New Zealand in a very strange direction in exchange for membership of this international intelligence agency.
Have you been in the town hall just now? Okay, this is called the moment of truth, right? The biggest lie by this government and John Key was the deception of the New Zealand people about the mass surveillance program by the GCSB. And he has been exposed tonight as a liar who has lied to the New Zealand public, and I think the evidence has shown clearly that John Key cannot be trusted. And just about my track record, I have 10 out of 10 points. Everything I've produced in the past, everything I've said in the past turned out to be true. So please let us go through this proper process and then find out who's right and who's wrong.
I would have felt like I had failed in my obligation as a journalist if I let New Zealanders go to the polls knowing that I was sitting on documents that shined a lot of light on what the statements were and the credibility was of the New Zealand government statements about mass surveillance. And so that's why I did the reporting. It's up to New Zealanders to decide if that's something that should affect their votes or change their votes in any way.